More than 10 million Iraqis went to the polls on Saturday, while millions of others did not. A record low turnout of about 45% in the country's first election since the collapse of Daesh. A barometer of widespread dissatisfaction across Iraq. No election since the fall of Saddam Hussein in 2003 saw turnout below 60%.
There is dissatisfaction from the people with the way things are going. By things, I mean the decisions that these parliamentarians, these candidates are promising the Iraqi people, but in fact they are not delivering on those promises. And that's partially because of different, political backgrounds, receiving different aid in the different support in the form of aid from different regional allies. Different regional countries such as Saudi Arabia, interference from the United States, interference from different other Arab countries, also interference from the European Union. And this is something that the Iraqi people feel that they cannot vote for the same faces to represent them once more.
The Iraqi nation has long been dogged by chronic corruption, an ailing economy and failing public services. A drop in global oil prices has made things even more difficult for the Iraqis. The political developments between the US and Iran have added significance to the election. Whoever wins the election will have to cope with the ramifications of Trump's decision to pull out of Iran's nuclear deal. Some fear the move could turn the country into a battleground for Washington and Tehran. Some new players, such as Saudi Arabia and Israel, are also expected to turn up.
So there is signs of sophisticated maneuvering going on, and I always hope for the best, but then I always fear for the worst. And like I said, the biggest fear is a combination of a Trump in the White House and Saudi money coming from under the dunes could be fatal for Iraq. But I think the Iraqis realize that as well, so they'll be watching very carefully. I don't believe that whatever the conflicts with Iran in the past, that anybody in Iraq wants to be on Donald Trump's side in any conflagration, and certainly not on Israel's side.
Iraqi leaders try to keep good relations with Iran and the US. This might pose as an obstacle to the formation of a coalition government acceptable to both. According to reporters on the ground, Kurdish areas saw quite a higher voter turnout compared with other parts of the country. Political observers say the 2017 referendum made the Kurds realize that they cannot ignore Baghdad. Following the referendum last September, the Iraqi military took control of disputed territories, including the oil-rich city of Kirkuk. Kurdistan Regional Prime Minister Nechirvan Barzani described the election as an important and historic day where people elect their representatives to the Iraqi parliament through the ballot box. Now, with the low turnout in other parts of the country, the Kurds hope that they will play an outsized role in the post-election era.
If these different Kurdish groups can align themselves with the bigger coalitions right now, for example, one of which is being led by the current Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi, then that could make a difference.
Iraq's constitution gives lawmakers more than 3 months after the approval of the election results to form a government. With no clear frontrunner, the process is likely to go on for much longer. The game has begun.